It's the weekend of the 24 Hours of Daytona, and we are here with iRacing AI to simulate that race over the course of In the Racing myself here on iRacing. It's a 40-minute session as we have the field mixed up of GT3s, LMP2, and of course the GTD class. I am trying to keep it, you know, a NASCAR spin on things, and we're running the Trackhouse partnered Corvette where Shane Van Gisbergen as well as Connor Zilisch will be behind the wheel of this Corvette this weekend as the 24 Hours of Daytona is underway here from Daytona International Speedway as we head down into turn 1. It's a Corvette GT3 immediately getting overtaken by the LMP2. Now it's important to note about halfway through this 40-minute race there will be a caution that comes out, full course safety car, and that will rack up everybody again, and it will, well, rack them up and get ready to race again. Now Connor Zilisch is actually in this field in the AI. He was in that LMP2 up front there as I am tucked in behind one of the BMWs in the GTD now as we're just settling in there as George Kurtz goes by as well as Westbrook, and you can see the GTDs are just absolutely dominating our pace. Now I am really lucky. I'm actually when this video is going live, I'm going to be actually at Daytona for the first time in my life, and only the second time I'll be in the USA, but I will be taking in the 24 Hours of Daytona IRL, which is extremely exciting. I will have a vlog. I should have a vlog that goes up. I'm not going to promise it, but the goal is to vlog it. So very excited for that experience with a few of my friends. So I can't wait for you guys to see what I get to see there. As you can see, Felipe Nasr goes by, Jordan Taylor as well. Actually, my favorite IMSA driver, Jordan Taylor, goes by us now as we'll settle in. Look at the cars all over the place, scattered all around as we head down into the bus stop chicane. Scott Dixon up the inside in the Cadillac now. He's going to go through, says thank you very much, and I'm just going to settle in and kind of let these guys do their things. Of course, multi-class racing, we have the overall field, but we have our class field that we're racing in now. As you can see, the two LMP2s up front and then the GTD. We're going to go 3 wide for the overall lead of this race. Connor Zilisch gives up the lead, and now everyone trying to settle in here as here comes the BMW as well, working its way forward into turn number 1. And I mean, so much fun to do this kind of style of racing. I've really fallen in love with this type of racing. IMSA specifically, WEC as well is something I'm trying to pay a bit more attention to. I want to get into more games like Le Mans Ultimate just to kind of get more experience with that type of racing. Now as we self-spin off the curb and immediately on just a second lap figure out exactly what you do not want to do. We'll get it recollected and back going, but we're off the back of the field now, and that, well, that was a big mistake that we're going to have to spend, you know, the next 37 and a half minutes trying to make up for. Fortunately, we do know we have a caution coming later in the session, but I do believe we've got pace to run down the back of this field before too long, so I don't think it's over quite yet, but definitely not the mistake you want to be making on just the second lap of this race. Not good for confidence, that's for sure. Now there is rain actually on the way. It's going to be a light patch of rain. Shouldn't put us onto a wet tire, but it is coming. That was something that I was paying attention to as well, as we start now just hustling this Corvette and say, hey, we got to go. Start working our way forward and see if we can catch the back of this grid, hopefully within a few laps now as we come through to lap 3 of this race. 4.5 minutes through. You can see in the bottom right corner of your screen there, as you can as well on the bottom left see some of the weather stuff, so you can see how much precipitation is on the racetrack. So I think this tool here from RaceLab Apps, very useful for this type of racing in iRacing. Definitely going to use it, planning to do some more endurance racing this year as well. So won't be unfortunately doing the actual virtual 24 Hours of Daytona because I'll still be in Florida for that weekend as well at Daytona the weekend before the actual race. But you can see on the windshield the rain is coming down as I slip and slide a little bit, and you can see the precipitation on the left side of your screen is up to 1%, so not very much, but the rain is coming down, but it's just a very, very light sprinkle, so not really going to impact the circuit here now. And up front the battle continues. Here comes the BMW putting some pressure on the Porsche into the bus stop chicane, and getting after it. There they go to the lead, and that number 24 is saying thank you very much. Now, as for myself, we are reeling in the cars in front. We've got a 40-second gap on the overall GTD leaders, and we're within 3 seconds of the cars in front of us in our class. We are gaining quite a bit of time through the back straightaway chicane, actually, and as you can see, as we come through to start lap 5, the rain is not getting really any stronger. It's only at 2% still, so definitely don't expect it to be really any heavier than this. As I say that, it goes to 3%, but you can see in the rear view mirror the spray off the back of the car. But now the rain, it was very brief, and I set the forecast to be random, so I had no control over what happened, and I think that we got lucky that it was really brief, and it was already working its way through and out of the track. We're down to 1% precipitation, so just a very light shower, doesn't really impact anything, and we continue to run down the cars in front of us there, as we should be able to start working our way forward and through this field, hopefully within the next 2 to 3 laps now. And at this point, on lap 6, through the back straightaway chicane, the rain has completely stopped, so that is no longer relevant. We're just going to focus on pushing hard, going forward, maybe not pushing too hard. There's still a little bit of spray on the racetrack, so it's not 100% dry. But now, as we start lap 7, already got blue flags. Here come the leaders for the GTD class, and we're just going to try and stay out of the way. It's actually the Porsche back out in front of the BMW. I'm going to be wide entering turn 1 on the oval section. There they both go through. They are glued together for the lead of this race now. Ricky Taylor as well, joining his brother Jordan here in the field. He is on his way forward as we head out of oval 2 down this back straightaway. There goes another Porsche, and then into the bust-up chicane side by side with the GT3s, and now here we are into the mix now. Can we get after the Sun Energy Mercedes? It's going to be close, but not quite enough to make it happen right there, as we'll get that slipstream. Here comes another BMW saying see you later. Ricky Taylor is next for that Wayne Taylor Racing Machine. There he goes by. Not even a contest, of course, and now we'll pull out a line, but didn't have enough momentum to really put up a fight until about halfway down the straightaway. We get clear, but hold on, it's going to fight back up the inside. I thought I had him covered off pretty well, but the answer was obviously proven wrong, as George Kurtz right up my rear bumper here. I'm going to leave some room for him now, and then here comes Scott Dixon again, 3 seconds back. Jordan Taylor just behind him, but I see opportunity right here to maybe overtake this Mercedes and maybe a Corvette in the process. Now as we'll go past Antonio Garcia, and there's 2 positions gained. Roman Grosjean a few seconds up the road. Then you got Mike Rockenfeller as I slip and slide a little bit now, as we'll settle in behind this GTD and let things play out. We're already 13 minutes, nearly 14 through this race. There goes Scott Dixon. Not too much longer until we see our first and, well, hopefully only caution. There goes Jordan Taylor now, and then another Porsche of Felipe Nasr goes by as we head into this back straightaway chicane. Through this bus stop, we lose it. We completely lose control unexpectedly, and we avoid the barrier. I don't think you can get much luckier than that, but in the opening half of this race, we are very thankful there's a caution on the way, because we've made 2 costly mistakes. It's going to be crucial to not make any after that yellow, but just mistakes that should not be happening right there. And I think what happened there in the back straightaway chicane, I just braked a few meters too late and just had way too much momentum going into the first curb, and just, well, quite simply self-spun. As you see, one of the GT3 Porsches coming out, one of the coolest liveries in the class, of course, with that mouth design on the front with the teeth. It's a very cool, like a shark. Love that livery on that car, but nonetheless, I mean, we're dead last currently overall, our class as well, so not pretty, to say the least. We know we got pace to not be last. That's the big thing, right? So we just need to wait for this caution, and when the caution comes out, we'll settle back in and focus on going forward. Speaking of cautions, the full course safety car would come out right here. Safety car heads on to the racetrack. Now the field will get stacked up. Now we won't see what we saw at the start, where all the classes were, you know, mixed up together. Now the classes are going to be actually together. So you'll have all the GTDs up front, and the GT or the LMP2s, and then of course the GT3s to follow behind. So it'll make it a lot more organized for this restart, to say the least, and we were getting ready to go racing. So we're dead last in our class. We're dead last overall, P37. I would love to have more AI, but it says that you should not have more AI than like 40 going into a race. So I kept that in mind here with iRacing's kind of limitations now. But we're ready to go back racing. Green flags out, and it was almost 8 minutes it took to get that caution done. So we were at minute 24 when we go back racing of 40. We've got 16 minutes left in this 2025 24 Hours of Daytona now, as we'll be up the inside of the Porsche and try to move through, and they actually really fade. They made an unscheduled pit stop earlier as well, so a bit curious as to what happened there. Do we dare make it 3 wide? The answer is yes. Into hairpin 1 will be 3 wide now with the Mercedes, as well as I believe a Corvette on the outside who's backed out of it. So it's myself and it's Luca as we go down this short chute towards that left kink. They'll get clear. Here comes an LMP2, and we'll just try to stay out of the way and not make things too complicated for them, but they decide to stay stationary behind the Mercedes. So I'm going to fire one up the inside, trying to put the Mercedes under pressure and say, hey, we want to get in that position now. But obviously, the LMP2s are going to power through. There's Pietro Fittipaldi going by on the inside as well, as we continue to just be out of the way, but as well try to be in the mix at the same time. Here we go. The Mercedes, a bit of a weird entry into Oval 1. That's the opportunity we needed. Clear, and now we gain 1 spot, and we'll look to gain 2 by the end of the lap. Now just behind the LMP2, and we'll go around the outside. Can we make this happen on Daniel Serra? No, the answer is, and we'll settle in and wait for the right opportunity, which I believe is going to come here very soon. But we've got now 3 of these GT3s behind us right now, or 3 or 4. I think we got 4 of them behind us now. So we're making progress, and the bus stop chicane continues to really be where the most progress over each lap is being made. We're just able to get through here so much more consistently better than the cars in front of us now. 13 minutes left in this race, and we continue to just settle in and focus in, and really just focus on no mistakes from this point on. There's Mike Rockenfeller, who's dropped a spot to Sarah, and now I'm gonna actually lunge one up the inside. A very unexpected move. Can we clear Rockenfeller? It's gonna be wheel to wheel. The answer is maybe, not quite yet. Still side by side into hairpin number 1. I think Rockenfeller is gonna get us here. We'll try to do the little switchback on him. Not quite gonna happen. Well defended there on the exit now, so we'll wait for the right opportunity, which I think we could maybe kind of catch him off guard. He seems to be a bit off pace right now in his Mustang as we head down towards hairpin number 2. Again, lunging one up the inside, in there like a fireball, like a cannon, as we go wheel to wheel on the exit. But Rockenfeller not making this easy as we continue to fight wheel to wheel as we head back towards the oval. He'll outbrake us. We'll try to switch back him again. Not going to happen. We'll settle in behind, but I believe we're going to have a chance to get him down the back straight away into the chicane. The answer is absolutely we will. Look at the pace difference. That Mustang struggling for pace on a straight line right now. We'll outbrake him. Hold on. He tries to fight back. Not enough. As we slide there into the chicane, we get the job done. Now into another position gain, 32nd overall. Unfortunately, with iRacing AI multi-class racing, it's not like the real, online iRacing where it actually separates the classes. No, you don't really know in iRacing AI what spot you're in your class, because it just doesn't account for that in the leaderboard. So you just kind of have to make a bit of a guessing game now, as we will have a good idea though as we get towards the end of this race now, as we're on the back of Daniel Serra. Again, a big run to the outside, but when you make this move to the outside, it's so hard to complete the pass when you're in similar speed cars. So I would have to pull back in line and try to make a move here down the front straightaway, side by side through the tri-oval, crossing the stripe. This is lap 18, 33 minutes in, 7 minutes left of racing, and can't quite get the pass complete there on Serra. We'll have to settle in behind him again and just wait for the right opportunity. That's all we can do. Right opportunities are going to present itself, and waiting pays off. Here we go. A big run down the back straightaway chicane on lap 18, and here we go around the outside. Not even a contest. I mean, we just breezed by on Sarah there. So we'll now get to the back of Sheldon Linde. I don't know if it's Lind or Linday, but just like the Canadian side of me, of course, is going to think Linday. But nonetheless, we are going to try and follow through. How about Alex Rossi for McLaren? Of course, losing his McLaren ride in IndyCar at the end of the 2024 season. But here he is, at least here on this side in the McLaren for our little mock run of the 24 Hours of Daytona. This is the 2024 class iRacing AI collection that I am using. There was not a 2025 one made at the time of recording this video. That should be noted as well, as though we continue behind Alex Rossi and we continue to put ourselves forward. We're moving forward. We're very much in the mix here for a podium in our class now, as I was looking. Not going to happen right there, but we're going to have a good chance to make the overtake on Rossi here in hairpin 2. So we'll lunge it up the inside. Will be just about even, but at his door now, at the apex now, as he's got a good exit. Rossi not going to make this easy, but I'm not going to make it easy either. We continue wheel to wheel. He outbreaks us into the entrance towards the oval. We'll settle in. I mean, honestly, some great racing we're having here with these AI, but we would fight back with the slipstream to his outside down the back straightaway. Bit of contact to our door just about there as we head down into the chicane. We got the GTDs coming up behind us one more time before this race is over. Rossi trying to keep it pinned on the left side. He has to back out, and here comes the Porsche again, going past us. That's Esther going through, and here goes Richard Westbrook trying to keep him honest as well, as we now settle in behind another Corvette. And as we come through to the lap 21, this is 2 laps to go in this race, and the battle for the podium is on. I can confirm that this row of 3 cars in front of us is 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. The leader is a Lamborghini a little further down the road, so we're going for 2nd is what we can do, but currently running in the 5th position as we're just behind that 4th place in class Corvette. Can we find a way onto the podium? What a recovery drive it would be if we can get onto the podium through the bus stop chicane. This is going to be crucial coming to the final lap of this 24 Hours of Daytona. Right on the back of the Corvette now to the right side. Can we make something up? And the answer is no. We'll have to tuck back in line and wait for the opportunity again to get a nice run down this front straightaway, just like this. White flag in the air. Esther looking like he'll win the overall GTD class here now, as we'll keep it pinned around the outside. Is it going to be enough to complete the overtake? The answer is no. We maintain P5 currently in class, looking to find a way to be in P4. I would like to be 4th before we get to that bus stop chicane. I think we can get a podium if we can be P4 entering that chicane, but we're going to have only one realistic opportunity to make that overtake here on 4th place, and that's going to be in this next hairpin. But look how far behind we are. Meanwhile, up front, it's Kevin Esther in the Porsche coming through to win the overall class of 24 Hours of Daytona 2025. It would be Connor Zilish coming through to win in LMP2. Meanwhile, we are still P5 in class, looking for P4 into the bus stop chicane. Side by side, we're going to be P4 where we wanted to be. Have to take a bit of a shallow entry, but look how much we reel in. Alex Lynn just in front of us for P3. Here we go. To the outside, it's going to be a drag race. 2nd is just likely not going to happen. It's all about P3. I go way up the racetrack knowing I need to generate a big run. Waiting, pulling down in line now. I think we've timed it perfect. We'll get the slipstream on the exit of Oval 4. It's going to be a drag race to the line. 3rd place right in front of us. We pull out side by side. Drag race to the line. Who's it going to be? It'll be us by about a quarter of a car length. We get P3 in class. We find a way to the podium. The final half of the race we drove in and executed to perfection, and we'll get P3 in class with this Trackhouse partnership in Corvette. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the real world 24 Hours of Daytona. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.